Hello, hello, hello. This is Vanessa McLean, the founder of the Speaker Institute for Women, and I am today with Ilka Chavez, and she's going to correct me if I've pronounced her name incorrectly. As you know, this is the Wellness is Everything Summit, and you're going to find out what this is all about in just a few minutes. I've been speaking to a few of my speakers who are going to be coming to London in the next 2 weeks. And Ilka, she's one of our featured speakers, and she's joining us today on the Wellness is Everything Summit. Ilka, can I hear you or can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, and thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to have a conversation with you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure when we're talking about wellness. And as the name says, wellness is everything. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But before we get into this, Ilka, on this lovely wet afternoon, I don't know what it's like where you are.
It's actually sunny out.
We're going to be talking about wellness because I've just finished doing my weekly shopping. So now it's time to talk about wellness, what we eat, what we do, and why we need to be well as international and global speakers. So Ilka, first of all, let's have a little insight about who you are.
Oh, it's Ilka Chavez. Well, Ilka is she's passionate about leading. She is an international public speaker, and she's a mom. That's the most important role I have, is being a mom of 2 children, 29 and 22.
Oh, beautiful.
Been speaking for some time. I'm an author as well. Been blessed to write in 5 books, and it's one of my books.
What was that one?
About wellness. This one is What Leaders Say and Do, How to Inspire Your Tribe.
Now, how important is that?
It's very important to inspire your tribe. And, you talk about wellness, and that's something important, especially when it comes to leading. Wellness about being well from the inside out. Mm-hmm. As we continue the conversation, I'll share some of my story about wellness.
Well, I hope so. I hope so too. You see, Ilka, we're really excited. In fact, we've had a conversation for the last couple of months about what's going to be happening in London. And I sensed your passion then. I still feel it now. I don't know why you're holding back, but I know once you open your mouth, everything changes.
They've got to show up. I got to hold back some. I can't give it all right here. They got to show up in the room to get the juice.
Oh my God. But Ilka, you know what's really important for me, and I think for a lot of women, and your book really says it all, how to be a leader. And I want to find out, how did you get to this route of leadership?
Well, it seemed like it was already happening. I was just asleep in the process, to be honest, because I realized that every position I had prior to starting my business, I just fell into a leadership position. For example, my first job straight out of college, I took an internship at one of the largest hospitals corporations in New York that ran New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation. Mm-hmm. And I did an internship there. Long story short, was hired. In a month or 2, my boss left, and I became in charge of the entire New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation's certificate of need process. And that was the beginning of everything. And every place I went, I found that I was attracted to really leading, but not leading by telling people what to do, but leading through who I was. Because one of the big things is to really lead from where you are. And truly leadership starts with yourself. And if you don't lead yourself, you can't lead others. And a lot of times we think that leadership is about telling people what to do, boss, and sitting and crossing your arms. And that's how you inspire your tribe. And one of the things I was excited, and I am excited about coming to London to this wellness, is everything Speak Global Now conference, because it really is going to touch on part of my journey of truly understanding that, we can be well on the outside, leaders on the outside, but what's happening on the inside?
And that's something that we as women specifically, particularly, need to pay more attention to, because a lot of us, we do look so fantastic on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going on inside? Toxicity,
Mm-hmm.
illnesses, you name it.
Speaking of illnesses, so I am a cancer survivor, 5 years. And I'm
Okay.
really excited. And next week is my birthday. So I'm celebrating. So when we come to London, we're going to have a huge celebration. It'll be the week after my birthday, celebrating 5 years. And that was one of the big awakenings for me, Vanessa. It was really, wow, here I am thinking I'm leading in my community, leading at work, leading at home. But what was happening? There was something happening on the inside where
Mhm.
cancer showed up. But
Mm.
when that showed up for me, Vanessa, I had an opportunity. It was what was happening to me or what was happening for me.
Mm.
Emotional mastery coach, I realized that that was a sign. It truly wasn't a death sentence, it was a life sentence. It was an awakening to, yeah, you're doing all these things on the outside, everybody's following you, but are you truly inspiring them? And that's when I had to go on the wellness inside. That was the start of it 5 years ago. And I'm no spring chicken. Oh, look at, no, I'm just
Do you know, it's interesting. I mean, I wasn't even aware of that story, Ilka. And since you've mentioned that, do you know, when you get that diagnosis, and it's not a pleasant diagnosis for anyone by any stretch of the imagination, how did you feel in that moment?
in that moment, it's a feeling of, you feel lost. You're like, what happened? Because I pretty much exercised. I did some of that, but I felt as though, what did I do wrong?
Mm.
Start to feel like, what did I do wrong? Where did I fail? Because you're walking around thinking you're doing everything right, you're helping everybody, you're doing everything, but that was a sign that there was something missing. So I was on a quest to find out what went wrong, what could I do differently.
Mhm.
And I must tell you, it was a true awakening for me.
Mhm.
But it was a process. It didn't happen all at one time, but it was like, what did I do wrong?
Mm.
And of course, you get the why me, but that didn't last very long. And you'll hear more about that story when we get to London.
Yeah, I tell you, we can't wait for that. We can't wait for that, because I believe for everyone who goes through a story like what you've been through or lived through that process, there's someone waiting to find out, what do I need to do next? How
Yes.
can I expedite whatever the diagnosis was? What can I do now so that I don't have to suffer? You're here 5 years later when I saw you full of beans, even now.
I am 5 years later, and I plan to be around for a long time.
Mm.
The thing that you just triggered for me is, at that moment,
Mhm.
I could have been a victim, and I was for a little while,
Mhm.
quite frankly. I was feeling like the victim and what happened and
Mhm.
everything. But then I said, I have a legacy to leave. And that legacy is for those two children that I'm very proud of, to be their mom and honored to be their mom.
Mhm.
And I could sit there and not fight, or I could fight and do life differently. And I decided to do life differently. The journey it's a process, and as you know, we have our friend Candice Camille
Mhm.
in common, and she has helped me realize that we're doing the Sexy Fit and Well retreat.
Mhm.
People look at me and say, well, she don't look like the wellness. However, I must tell you that the inside
Mhm.
feel well,
Mhm.
whole. So the outside will eventually get there. And you have to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
It's roller coaster ride, and I'm on it, but I'm buckled up and I'm ready to bring the rest of this to London and share with all those leaders who want to learn, who really want to understand. Show up, invest in yourself, and show up in that room and show up now.
Absolutely. Not next week, show up now. I mean, one of the things that I've been asked more than once, Vanessa, why are you charging so much? Why do we have to pay to come to this event? When people ask questions like that, Ilka, what's your answer to something like that?
My answer is, are you worth it? So, you know what, and one of the key things I'm going to share with you now is, for cancer, separation, all the other stuff that happened,
Mm-hmm.
I would have never invested in myself. Part of it was others are more worthwhile than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't pay a small fee to come be inspired, because it's not just the inspiration, it's the tools that's going to be shared with people that equip them to take action. So it's not just inspiration, it's key tools that they will learn to take action. And if you're not worth that small investment, they really need to think about, are they well? Are they well?
Mm-hmm.
Because the amount I have invested in myself now, I do not regret one penny. And I will not stop investing in me, because when I invest in me, that's how I begin to inspire my tribe.
That's so, so amazing. And as you say that, it just reinforces the reason why I created the Speaker Institute for Women, just for women like yourself, who have had some kind of a setback, who knows what adversity is like, but they refuse to stay down. And they needed to go on a global platform to share it. And
That's
we
right.
know what it's like when our health has been compromised. And you made it so clear your big reason why, your two beautiful children. And that's why you do this. And to inspire people around the world to go after it. Don't let anything stop you.
Nothing, not even money, because the fee you're charging is nothing. It's nothing for the wealth of information that they will get in that day. Because it's the thing, how much Candace, who will be in the room, all the other speakers that you want in the room, because we give, and we give from the heart. So they have no idea that what they will be investing for that one day is pennies for what they're going to be getting, the thousands and thousands of dollars that they will be getting. We're coming across the globe to impact them.
Absolutely. And like you said, I mean, the ladies in the room, each one of them, they've invested time, blood, sweat, and tears to be where they are today. And each one of you have something. You're coming to plant a seed, and I can't wait to sit down at each of your feet and absorb the information, and not just absorb it, but go away and start to grow, because I've been in that space of nurturing.
Mm-hmm. And that's the key, because sometimes we feel that we're not worthy. And even spending something like that, there's guilt. And why would you feel guilty about investing in yourself? Because we have to grow, and we cannot grow by ourselves. You can't just put a seed in the ground and not water it. You have to water that seed. To nurture it. I tease my friends. They said, I don't have a green thumb. I said, do you talk to your plants? You have to nurture it. You have to nurture yourself. You have to nurture your mind, your body, and your soul. And what holds us back majority of the time, Vanessa, is our mind. And that's where the emotional mastery says, I can't spend this money. I don't have this money. I bet if they walked around their house, they could probably gather enough change to have surplus of money to pay for this. Because we are all sitting on a gold mine.
We certainly are.
Waiting for us to tap into it.
So there's no excuses, absolutely zero excuses. And at this point, Ilka, I'm just going to share where the information will be on the 29th of June in London. The tickets are on sale at Speak Global Now 2019.eventbrite.co.uk. Speak Global Now 2019.eventbrite.co.uk. We've got over 9 women from around the world with a varied expertise coming to pour into you. You have to be in the space. Now, if you're someone who's thought, well, maybe next time, this time is your next time.
Yeah, that's right. This time is your next time, because we all have, I have my slogan that's learn it, lead it, and lead it. And I sometimes add pass it on. What we have learned, what we have lived, we are coming there ready to pass it on. That baton so they can start leading their best life now, not tomorrow, not next year, now.
Ilka, I mean, this is Speak Global Now. It is the Wellness Summit. And I know you speak, you're a leader, and I've seen you being in some lovely exotic places recently. So, based on wellness is everything, and as a speaker, how does that tie in with all of your traveling? How do you feel as opposed to how you may have felt before when you didn't take wellness as seriously as you do now?
As I mentioned before, it starts from the inside. And as you can see, there's just joy coming from the inside. I feel healthy inside, which is what matters most, because the rest will catch up. Around, people are like, you just keep going. How do you? And it's really about sharing that message. That as leaders, for me, you have to be well, and that wellness starts first in your mind. And then it starts in your heart. It starts in your soul. And once you have all of those aligned, there's nothing you can do but be well. I mean, you've seen, I walk, I share my walks, and it's a process. It's not, remember, this didn't happen overnight. So it's a process, and you have to be patient and trust the process. In the process and trust the process. And that's what I am doing, because I know what to do. I just have to activate what I do. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm activating it. And I don't mind being an example. Because I said, I told Candace, what? I've been there before and I can get there again. And I'm excited. I'm excited about how I'm feeling. And I know it's going to just manifest completely, holistically. And that's what I'm sharing around the world.
That's so beautiful. And, the other thing is, we're both a part of that same wellness group as well. So I think one of the most important things is having that accountability person, someone who has our best interests at heart. From a very holistic approach as well. So it is the body, it is the mind, it's everything that makes us who we are becoming. So that's why I love what we do here at the Speaker Institute for Women, because it's not just about the speaking, it's about our wholeness.
It's about the wholeness. And you said the right word. It's about becoming. Change is part of life. You will change. Transformation is part of life. We have to transform. We have to turn into the beautiful butterflies that we are. So just embrace it wherever you are. Start from where you are with what you have, and what you have. Start with what you have from where you are and go.
One of the things, as you said that, one of the things that just ran through my mind, when people see you, or people who are deemed to be established, they see them at a certain point of their life, and they are judged or one may start to compare themselves against where they see that person.
Yes.
But what about all the hard work? Let's talk about that for a moment, because you're a leader. So let's drill into that a little bit.
So the work continues daily, and it's funny you mentioned that. I had a little gathering yesterday with some girlfriends, and we talked about the enemy of comparing. Right? People see you, they see what you're doing, but they don't know what you have done to get there. This is their season. Be happy for them. Your season will come. You don't know how many years they have been at it. See, you didn't even know my story about having been a survivor. I was building a business while fighting cancer, while fighting separation, doing all of that. But it was determination and it's keeping. And when you find your purpose, and that was one of the benefits that I got from surviving cancer, is I found my purpose. And my purpose is to grow leaders. I didn't know how to do it 5 years. I'm still learning how to do it. It's a process. I'm still growing. People see all the great things on social media, but no inbox you and say, how are you doing this? Is it they're just seeing the glory. They don't want to know the pain. And when I come to the room, that's the part that they're going to hear about. They're going to hear about the struggles. They're going to hear about sometimes not even being able to pay your mortgage, and you're still moving forward and investing. Those are the things that people need to know. You don't know what somebody's been through. So don't judge them by what you see on social media. If you want, our minds want to know, reach out. And if you want to learn the tool, invest in yourself with that person. Show up at an event or join one of their programs, because nothing we're teaching is not nothing we've been through. And where I came up with my slogan, learn it, live it, and lead it.
I like that. Learn it,
live it, and lead it. And in Spanish, which you're going to learn some Spanish, apréndelo, vívelo y compártelo.
I told you the program is called Speak Global now, so we've got everybody coming in.
That's right.
I love it. I so love it. So, Ilka, what can the audience expect to hear or walk away with once you've took hold of the mic in the room?
My main thing is, what I want them to walk away with is understanding every single tool about leading themselves first. We have to learn to lead ourselves first, because if we don't, it's a continuous process of making the same mistakes and expecting different results. And I say that for many reasons, and I want them to stop and watch and say, who am I? Who am I as a leader? And then there's a process that you go through of, we talked about that accountability. How are you sustaining? I see you blowing it up. I see you having your self-talks in our chat, and I'm loving it, because that shows that you are ready. You're ready for this next phase, the transformation, and you're embracing the transformation at cost. So those are the things that I want them to see, because that's really what it is. I'm on a quest to teach leadership from people who come out of their mother's womb, so that way they can lead from who they are, not who somebody else says they are, not who society says they are, not who they inspire or admire to be. Just be who you are and lead that person.
Ilka, what you do really inspires me. And is there at least one client that springs to mind right now that, that transformation, that every time you see them, you're just like, wow?
Well, so in February, actually, Candice, again, I had a conference called, the title was Waiting to Exhale. Can you imagine that? Waiting to exhale. And I will not mention the person's name. I have not gotten her permission. But she showed up resisting, number one. She was invited, and during the weekend, I watched her and I watched her transform. She actually said yes to the program that I offered, and that was in February, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Today, after working with this client and coaching her, she has fully embraced her business and has gotten clients through her business. She has quit her job and started a complete new job aligned to her purpose. She is leading powerfully in just 4 months. I am blown away. And every time she writes, she says it's because of what you did, Ilka. And it's humbling because it's nothing I do is about me,
Mm-hmm.
seeing that in every single person. And
Mm-hmm.
she says, I've been sitting on this for 5, 10 years. I said, why? You have a purpose, go for it. It's not going to be easy, but get up. You're going to fall, keep getting up, and keep going. Don't stop, keep going, because as I mentioned before our conversation started was about qualifiers, and don't ring in qualifiers. When you're going after what you're meant to do, there are going to be qualifiers. I learned from Mary Morrissey. And
Mm-hmm.
qualifier is everything. And sometimes it's your kids, sometimes work going to show up to become such a strong excuse for doing that thing. And when you say that's a qualifier, that's a distraction.
Right.
It might sound crazy. It might be somebody in the hospital. And you might say that's the qualifier. They're going to think you're crazy. It's not crazy. It's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Test. And because she showed up, because she said yes, because she showed up to our coaching sessions, because she just wasn't inspired, she did action to the inspiration. You know, another thing I learned from Mary Morrissey, she says, inspiration without action is just entertainment.
Yeah. Inspiration without action is just entertainment.
Right.
What a lot of people are doing, just being entertained.
Right. So you're coming into this room with us in London, and is it about inspiration or taking action? You will be tools. You will be armed with inspiration, but tools on how to take action. And then it's up to you. That client took every single action, and in just 4 short months, she's blowing it out the water. Needed was accountability.
Yeah, there's so much I want to share. This is about me today. This is about you, Ilka, because it is about you sharing what wellness is. But it's just because we're both in a similar group that, I'm getting so excited about what wellness means to me, what wellness means to us as a collective. And as we're growing in this group, we're seeing the changes, the glow on your face, the inner change. And that inner change is an aura that people experience. When I met you just the other day in Washington,
Maryland, yeah.
It was just, you spoke some words into me without even knowing me. And I had to sit up straight, like, what did she say? What did she say? How did she know?
I am laughing because they say the same thing in Panama when I show up. So I went on a radio interview, and there was just a young guy right there, and the radio announcer told him not to leave because Ilka is going to change your life right now. And he looked like, and then things happened, and Monday he showed my book and said, she did it. So it's just amazing. That's who I am, Vanessa. I just really want to see people being the best, to turn off all those negative talks, to turn off what people said you should be, to stop. Well, my mom and my dad were like this, so I can't be like this. It's time to break the chains. And the only way you can do this is understanding how to lead yourself.
If you don't lead yourself, you will be led. You'll end up somewhere. You're asking yourself, well, how did I get here? You made a choice.
I have that story to share there too. How did I get there? When you wake up from the walking dead person, because
Mm.
there are walking dead people out there, and it's time to awaken. It's time to stop saying I'm not deserving. It's time to show up and show up big self. That's how you're going to begin to inspire your tribe.
Show up big. Ilka, you're going to be showing up. You're going to be showing up loud. You're going to be showing up big. You've got the energy. Just one more time. Why do people need to be in the room on the 29th of June this year?
Do I need to say more? I'm going to be there. I am God's will. I will be there. I'm showing up great. You have energy, and this is your time, and your time is now. No more hesitating, no more second guessing, no more asking why it should be charged or free. Invest in you. It's now. That's why. And when no regrets, I can tell you from my part, you will have no regrets. No regrets for showing up in the room. I can give you stories of when I showed up in the room, when I didn't know when I was going, where I could get the money from. And my first event I went to, my sister said, go. I said, but I have no money. She says, she didn't offer me the money either. She says, you get the money and you go. And guess what I did? I got the money and I went.
Mm-hmm.
She could have offered it to me, but she was doing something for me, and I'm grateful for my sister encouraging me. So the same way my sister encouraged me, don't ask about the money. Find the money and show up. Invest in you because you are worthy.
You know, as you say that, Ilka, I believe we must become more attractive. And the more attractive we become, the more we attract what we desire.
Amen.
If it's money, if it's people, whatever it is we desire, we have to attract it. And that's why I guess we've all connected with each other.
Yes.
London, right? To be in London.
And I told you my story. I said my company, it's called Corporate Gold, a global organizational leadership development company.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm going to impact the world. I'm going to coach presidents of countries, and I am going global. So here it is.
And when did you speak that?
Fifth country.
Right.
I've spoken in Canada, I've spoken in Bermuda, spoken in Panama several times, across the US, and now I'm going to London.
Well, Ilka, with all that you've achieved, and I know there's still so much more for you to achieve, because I know potential, sometimes we just don't even know what our potential is. However, I want people to find out where they can tap into your resources.
They can find me on social media under Chavez Ilka, or Ilka V Chavez. That's my brand name.
Can you just spell that for us, please?
Sure, it's ILKA, full initial V as in Vanessa, because that's my middle name, and CHAVEZ, that's CHAVEZ. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or you may contact me via my website, which is www.ilkavchavez.com. www.ilkavchavez.com. You can send me a message there and I'll gladly return the phone call.
And Ilka certainly will. Now, don't miss out on these opportunities. Our ladies are here to serve. Each one of them are here to serve. And I know that service is the rent that we pay for the space that we take up on this earth.
Yes.
Don't say, I can't. No, today, say, I can. And reach out for help, because we want to strengthen you. And Ilka's here. She's offering her services. Be ready to say yes.
Say yes to you. That's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ilka, thank you so much. I know we've only got a limited time for this Wellness is Everything Summit, and we're so glad that you've taken time and you continue to work on your well-being, because you know the importance of being a well-traveled speaker. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in the room on the 29th of June. Again, I'm going to say where you can get the tickets. It is Speak Global Now, 2019.eventbrite.co.uk. Speak Global Now, 2019.eventbrite.co.uk. If you're thinking about this, and maybe you've seen some of the other speakers as well, and you think, oh, that one resonates with me, or you're looking at Ilka and saying, I really feel her energy, I need to be in the room with her, book your ticket now. There's only limited spaces. Or if you're thinking, well, I'm not sure, what is this all about, Vanessa? Let's have a conversation. Get on my calendar, go to speakglobalnow.com and book a 20-minute consultation with me. And let's find out where you are, where you want to go to. And if I'm the person that can help you get there, we've got a realm of women that I work with, one being Ilka. I may not be the one, but let's have the conversation to find out where you are today, and let's move together. Ilka, closing words from you, please.
Well, Vanessa, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I just want to encourage everyone to show up. So come learn it, come live it, come lead it. It's time for you to lead your wellness, lead your heart, lead your soul to where you need to be. So show up, and let's show up great together. I look forward to seeing all of you in the room saying yes to you. It's time to say yes.
Thank you so much, Ilka, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in London. I'm Vanessa McLean, and until the next time, go out and just be incredibly, incredibly awesome.